Morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Oh, yes, my goodness gracious me. Yes, the beautiful reminder to me, to you, to every one of us that we have this wonderful power of choice. Remember, everything is fundamentally meaningless. Everything just is. Nothing is good or bad. It's our thinking that makes it so. And that was a hard thing for me to tap into when I first heard it. But once I started to think that way, I started to feel different. And that's something that you can do for yourself as well if you'll just engage with this power that you have, this hidden power, to be able to choose your thoughts, to imagine things how you would love them to be instead of as they are. Remember, everything starts in the mind. Everything happens twice. First in the mind, second in its physical form. When you change the within, the without changes. See, that's where the magic is. And it's really not magic, it's just a method of principle being used. With that being said, though, that's something that you can do for your life. Now, think about how you can apply this for everything, how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle, all of it. You can change all of it if you'll just shift how you're thinking. Another way for me to remind you of what I'm talking about is the results in your life. Your outer world is a reflection of what's happening in your inner world. Your inner world's a world of thought. See, the meanings that you give things, what you're in harmony with, that's what gets attracted to you. And the best part about all of it is you have a choice to change that inner narrative, to change the outer circumstances. I remember the first time that I came to this awareness of seeing that the results are nothing more than the manifestations of thought, that thought is something that manifests in form, that manifestation is nothing more than thought externalization. That changed everything for me. And that's what we're hoping that you get for you. That's what we've been studying here in this beautiful gem here, the master key system. It's something that we hope you have been engaging with in your life, that you're not just collecting the information, that you're using it, applying it in your life. Because remember, that's when the change happens. It's through application. Knowledge is not going to give you the change you seek. Knowledge is mere static, passive information. See, it's through the use of it, through the application of that knowledge that you deliver the change. And that's what we're hoping that you are doing. And many of you have been, which congratulations for you on that. But again, we hope that you're using what's being shared here, that you're using what you're taking notes on, because that's what's going to deliver the change you seek. All right, so let's dive into this, shall we? Let's go into where we are. Make sure you have your goal card with you. Make sure that this goal card is something that you're connected with. And with that, let's use what we are learning from this magnificent gem in our lives. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. And we're going to go over what we went over yesterday. We're on page 391, but we're going to go back to 390 in this specific section here on section 5. And again, what's he talking about? He's talking about the methods to change the results in your life. Remember, everything happens according to principle. Everything happens the same. You want to change the results of your life, you got to deal with the cause. The cause is in how you're thinking. Not what you're thinking, how you're thinking. And what does he point out here? He points out when you come to know that every form of disease, sickness, lack, and limitation are simply the result of wrong thinking, you will have come to know the truth that shall make you free. Wrong thinking leads to the wrong results. Right thinking leads to the right results. Everything embedded within what we're sharing with you here at Elevitality, in this specific instance, is what we're extracting from the master key system, is about right thinking. And when you understand that wrong thinking leads to the wrong results, that right thinking leads to the right results, you will have discovered the truth that shall make you free. You will see how mountains may be removed. Now, here he's speaking metaphorically. Faith can move mountains is a reference to the barriers that are there because of these hidden subconscious patterns and beliefs in you. Remember, that's what's in the way. What's in the way has nothing to do with anything outside. What's in the way is what's in you subconsciously. With this being said, when you see that every form of disease, sickness, lack, and limitations are simply from wrong thinking, you will be able to see how mountains may be removed. If these mountains consist only of doubt, I'm going to add in worry, fear, distrust, and other forms of discouragements, they are nonetheless real, and they need not only to be removed, but to be cast to the sea. You can cast it to the sea. Always remember and embody that what's been fixed in you subconsciously, what's in your heart, is not a fixed condition of things. You can change it. You can shift how you're thinking. Now, what does he say from here? He says, your real work consists in convincing yourself of the truth of these statements. Your real work is about shifting the narrative inside to discover the truth of these statements. And the only way you're going to discover the truth of these statements is if you're intentional to understand them. In all that getting, get understanding. That's a beautiful, profound truth from King Solomon. Not in all that getting, get knowledge. No, in all that getting, get understanding. Now, when you have succeeded in doing this, in other words, convincing yourself of the truth of these things, and by the way, I want to remind you that in order for you to do that, your mind must be wide open. You must be willing to reevaluate. When you have convinced yourself of the truth of these statements, when you have succeeded in doing this, you will have no difficulty in thinking the truth. As it has been shown, the truth contains a vital principle and will manifest itself. Now, again, just sit in that for just a moment. See, as you do the work, hasn't it been interesting how you've been discovering more of that? You've been understanding it. And hasn't it been interesting as that has been connecting with you, how you have been finding it easier to think the truth? Why? Because you've practiced it, because you've experienced it. The truth contains a vital principle and will manifest itself. Now, those who heal diseases by mental methods have come to know this truth. And there are many people who have done that. There are many people who have healed the sickness in them to the astonishment of those who are in the medical profession. They can't explain it. How many of you have heard stories of that? You know, what's fascinating is going to UPW, Tony Robbins was telling his story about the cancer he had in his brain. That's still there, by the way. In his early 20s, he was 5'1", and then this cancer caused him to grow exponentially. I'm literally talking to grow in size. And there are lots of doctors that were working with him saying, oh, we got to cut it out. Oh, no, we got to treat it with medication. Got to give you medicine. But he didn't operate that way. He says, no, I'm not going to do that. And look, he's well in his 60s. He's still alive and he's thriving. They can't explain it. How is that possible? You should be dead. That's what they said. See, he's come to know this truth. And there are many other people who have done that as well. Now, again, those who heal diseases by mental methods have come to know this truth. They demonstrate it in their lives and the lives of others daily. They know that life, health, and abundance are omnipresent, filling all space, and they know that those who allow disease or lack of any kind to manifest have as yet to come into an understanding of this great law. Now, I'm going to completely disrupt what he wrote here and approach it from a different level of understanding. But before I do that, for those of you who are watching this live stream and find this captivating and would love to tap into this and use this in your life, to watch the rest of this call, to watch the replays, then go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You'll thank yourself later.